Hi everyone, my name is Natalie. So first up, before I go into this video, I just want to mention, yes, I have gone blonde. I have decided that I wanted to go blonde in the middle of winter when people normally go a darker hair color. Just felt like it, and yeah, that's what's going on with my hair. I feel like it's been a while since I did a video, and that's also probably why I feel like I just have to mention the fact that my hair just ended up a completely different color between videos. So anyway, today I wanted to do a video talking about family-friendly mysteries. I wanted to do another Cloaks and Dagger Christmas related video. So Cloaks and Dagger Christmas, if you're not familiar, is a readathon that is going on I think the entire month of December, hosted by Kate Howe, Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures, and Kate from the novel Nomad. They have created this readathon to inspire you to read mysteries during the month of December. And I've realized along the way that I'm actually more into mysteries than I thought I was. I really enjoy consuming mystery stories in various mediums, and I did a video talking about my favorite mystery TV series, which will be linked somewhere in case you're interested. But yeah, today I wanted to talk about specifically mystery stories that are family friendly. So either they are directly targeted towards children, or I think they would be suitable for young readers and young audiences. So I have 3 recommendations that are TV based and 3 that are books. I'm gonna start off with the most obvious for me, and that is The Great Mouse Detective that came out in 1986. This is actually one of the Disney movies that I came to quite late. We never had this movie in our VHS collection. We had a very extensive VHS collection, me and my younger brother, as children, but we never owned this movie, and I think we rented it once, and then I watched it as an adult. It is based on a children's book called Basil at Baker Street or something like that, but the book is obviously an adaptation of Sherlock Holmes. So the storyline is basically Sherlock Holmes, but all the characters are mice and the enemy is a rat. It's just a ton of fun, and it's the main crux of the story is that this I can't remember the name of the rat, but he is trying to sort of get the throne from the queen. So there's a lot of humor that is directly relating to British things, and it's kind of stereotypical in the jokes, I think, but that adds to the charm of this movie. I really love animation from this period. You get these very colorful movies, and where the storylines are a little bit more I don't know, engaging and going outside of a structure that is part of the earlier movies. And the animation, I think, is also much more fluid after the 101 Dalmatians. So I'm a really big Disney fan, as you probably have heard me mention before. I love all of them, but this is one that is very charming and that I came to quite late. So I still feel like it has this fresh thing for me. But yeah, I love all Sherlock Holmes adaptations, as I mentioned in the mystery recommendations video, or my favorite mystery TV shows. So this is just one of those, and it's very enjoyable. The next one is also Sherlock Holmes related, and it is Sherlock Hound. This is actually an anime. It is an animated TV show from Japan, and it is, I think, 26 or 24 episodes. I don't think I've finished watching this one, but I really wanted to recommend it, both because it is a Sherlock Holmes adaptation. It's from Studio Ghibli, who has done so many amazing things. I love their movies, especially the earlier things, and this is from the 80s. It aired between 1984 and 1985, and I think a lot of people are familiar with Studio Ghibli's big masterworks like Spirited Away, Houseman Castle, and even Ponyo and more recent movies, but I don't think enough people know about their earlier works, and especially the series. It is Sherlock Holmes adaptation with all of the characters being dogs. So you have one with mice and one with dogs. So the only thing left, I think, is cats. And I don't think I know of any Sherlock Holmes adaptations with cats. But if you do, then please let me know, because that would be amazing. But yeah, it is a lot of fun and definitely suited for kids. And the last one that is a watch recommendation is probably my favorite of these three, and it is Detective Conan, also known as Case Closed. It started airing in 1996 and it's still ongoing. I think it's probably about 900 episodes at this point, which is kind of amazing that it's been ongoing since the mid-90s. It's so popular, that's why it's still ongoing. And it starts off with his, I think he is in middle school, upper middle school, so he's in his like late teens. This guy called Shinichi, and he is really smart, and he's sort of a detective, private detective, and he's helping consulting the official police on murder investigations. So he is helping out with investigations, but he ends up being sort of involved in a big corporation, evil corporation, and because of a drug that they have created, his body shrinks so that he appears to be a child. And I think he appears to be something like 7 years old, so he appears to be an elementary school level kid, I think. And he's stuck in this body while the inside of him is still the same age. So he's still mature inside, but the outside has changed. So he ends up being stuck in this body, and the story, the show follows him solving mysteries through another detective while also trying to get back at the corporation and sort of get back to his normal body. Episode by episode is very formulaic, but in a very fun and just charming way. I love, as I said, 80s, 90s animation, and this series has a lot of the tropes and stereotypes in the mystery genre, but I think it's just so entertaining that it's the stereotypes becomes part of the fun. So for example, you have those the Poirot style revelations at the end of each episode, and it's very theatrical, and it's I think a series that doesn't take itself too seriously, and it's really enjoyable. And obviously it's a series that has been going on for such a long time, so it's very popular, and it is a series that is targeted towards a younger audience. So while some of the episodes might be a bit too dark, they aren't really brutal or very explicit, I don't think. But I've just really loved this one, and I think I've watched about 300 episodes. I just wanted to mention this one because while I did my favorite mysteries, I decided that I only wanted to mention series that I'd finished or that I'd watched everything that is out. Otherwise I would have mentioned this one in that video, because I love this one so much despite its flaws. It's very cheesy at times. Sometimes the animation isn't great because it's such a long running series. The quality isn't stable throughout, and some of the episodes are fillers. It's based on a manga series. Despite its flaws, I still really enjoy it. Next up we have my book recommendations. First is Murder Most Unladylike by Robin Stevens. This is the first book in a long series. I think there's 7 books out now, maybe more, and I've only read the first book, so I'm only speaking about that here. I heard about it through Mel from Mel's Bookland Adventures. She talked about it really fondly, and really enjoyed it together with her daughter. This is a middle grade mystery series. This first book starts off in the 1930s in a girl boarding school where one of the governess has been murdered, and two of the students, Hazel and Daisy, are trying to investigate and figure out who was responsible for their governess' death. And it's very fun and plays with the genre in fun ways, much more actively than the previous mentioned Detective Conan. The characterization of the characters are really fun, and I felt like the writing is very, it doesn't look down on a young reader, it doesn't dumb down things, and that is something I really loved in this. I remember that being a very striking thing, that it felt like a very good, well-written middle grade mystery, which isn't something that you always feel with books for a younger audience. I really loved the story and the characters, as well as thinking that the writing was really good, really solid. So I'm really looking forward to reading more of the mystery series, but I would highly recommend, if you haven't given this book a try yet, I would highly recommend picking this one up. The next one is a book I've mentioned a few times before, and it is The Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls by Legrand. This is also a middle grade mystery, but it is a more creepy and spooky one. It is basically about two kids. One is called Victoria and the other one is called Lawrence. They're friends, and Lawrence suddenly disappears in this little town where they live, and Victoria starts to investigate what happened to him, where he went. And in this town there's this mysterious sort of orphanage-like situation called the Cavendish Home for Boys and Girls, and Victoria thinks that something's off with this organization and the orphanage and the woman in charge of it, and yeah, she discovers something weird going on in the town and with this orphanage, and it's about that, what happens when she starts investigating and sets things in motion. As I said, it is a very creepy and spooky one, and kind of like Coraline, and I think that is probably because it plays on the kind of fears I have, getting stuck in a second dimension or getting stuck in a place where you where no one will be able to find you, that kind of thing. Plays both books, I think, plays with that, plays with the dimension thing, and with the reality being sort of bending. This is one that is probably for a slightly older kid, as I said, because I find this very creepy, but some people might not find this as creepy as I do, because, as I said, I think it's probably because I have these particular fears that this really creeped me out. But it is one of the more underrated middle grade mysteries, I feel like, and I just wanted to give it another shout out because I really love this book, and I feel like I have to actually reread this. And it has beautiful illustrations that are also very creepy, like that. Last up is another book that I feel like I haven't heard anyone else talk about, and it is The Tale of Briar Bank by Susan Wittig Albert. So this is actually part of a series. It's in the middle of the series, and I haven't read this series except for this book, so obviously I'm not going in order, but I'm guessing that the other books are similarly fun and similar in tone. But this is a historical mystery series featuring Beatrix Potter as sort of an amateur detective. But when I read it, I remember thinking that while it is a murder mystery, it is very cozy in tone, and I think it would appeal to younger readers, while Beatrix Potter and the other villagers in this small town where a murder has happened, and it's the town is closed off because of the snow, I think. It is also investigated by the animals in the town, and they can all talk with each other, so it's sort of a parallel world, kind of like in the Rescuers movie, where you see the humans world, and parallel with that you have the mice. That is kind of how the structure of this book is, and it's just a ton of fun. It's not the most flawless book I've ever read, but it's just a very enjoyable mystery, and I feel like a lot of people would enjoy it just for the simple sake of Beatrix Potter being one of the characters. And as far as I can tell, her background and her character is quite accurate, as far as I can tell from what I've read about Beatrix Potter. So if you are someone who are looking for a cozy mystery, or one that you can possibly read with kids, and you love Beatrix Potter, then this might be a series worth looking into. So those are all of my family-friendly mystery recommendations. I haven't read enough middle grade mysteries, so if you have any recommendations for me, I would love to hear about them in the comments. I hope you found something in this video that sounded interesting to you. I hope you're having a really good Friday and weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.